Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of the Collider Games podcast. My name's Dennis Den. I'm here with...
What's up, guys? It's your boy Dorian here.
Yeah, we're back.
I've been MIA for like a month from the podcast.
Yeah.
It's been like 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, we skipped a week last week.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true.
For the Games podcast because we were at Comic-Con and we actually covered some games there. It's on that Collider Videos main channel, not the Collider Games channel. We went to two kind of things that are related to games that we'll talk about later, which is the Marvel Games panel and the Witcher panel. But yeah, so last week, if you guys were looking for an episode and didn't see one, there wasn't one because we were super busy.
Walking the floors.
Doing
panels, doing a lot of stuff.
Doing all that stuff. I remember, one day I didn't eat until like 9:30.
I feel like all my days
and
it
was free food too. It was at the IGN party. I was like, that was my first
you went ham. We got like five. You got like 5 plates.
Yeah, everyone was looking at me because I was like Thad was like talking and he was chatting with Emma and I was like, I got no time for that.
We gotta eat.
Yeah,
we gotta eat
I grabbed
out here.
like 5 plates and started chowing down. Actually, I grabbed 2, scarfed them, and then grabbed some more. But anyways, so a lot of different things happening. The first thing is Wolfenstein Youngblood came out today.
Yeah, we played a little bit of it. We got a demo at E3, and that was my first encounter with like any Wolfenstein
ever.
Okay. So I enjoyed it for the most part at the demo, and it was on my radar. So when they sent us a code and we went ham the past 2 days, I've been enjoying it. Especially, so I enjoyed it more playing with you rather than just playing online with a random person who doesn't have a mic or anything. Like co-op was a lot better. It made it a lot more enjoyable. Yeah,
because you're like, oh, I'm hurt. Come save me. I mean, there's a little call for help button, but it's the computer doing the voice and the recorded voice. Plus, you can't. It's hard to strategize without being able to talk on the mic. We played at E3, the demo, but we played at separate times, so we still didn't play with each other at the time. We played with random people.
And then on top, and you mentioned this as well, but on top of that, we had headphones on, but since we were like right next to each other, it was like, what's the point if we can't even hear through here? So we had to like take off one and communicate with our partners like this.
Yeah. Wolfenstein, you have no experience with this franchise. I played this, and the people are like, oh yeah, the original 3D one. It's like, no. There's a game before the 3D one. It's called Wolfenstein, and Castle Wolfenstein, and it was like literally stick figures walking around.
Is it the same like premise of like?
Oh, it's not like it's so like if you see this, your mind would be blown. I should find it. We should do a video where I find it if I can find it anywhere because it's like on old school computers and see. Maybe I'll just find a video of it to show you what Wolfenstein.
Me reacting to old school.
So I played that. I played the original 3D version. Which started the whole FPS, really the whole genre of games. And then they actually had a co-op version of it. I think on the original Xbox, but I didn't play the. I think there was one on the 360 or that generation.
Okay.
Didn't play that one, but yeah, a lot of fun playing the game. I mean, when we played at E3, we were playing on these high-end PCs, so obviously the graphics.
It looked really nice on at the E3 one. I mean, it looked nice when we were playing it, but it looked superb. Like I thought this was going to be like the most crystal clear game ever. Graphics are good. The controls are nice and smooth. It's actually harder than I thought because you only have 3 shared lives on this thing. Unlike I was telling you about Halo because you haven't played Halo yet, but like Halo, it's like unlimited respawns as long as your friend is not in the battle area. Right.
And usually if they are, you just go, I'm dead, and then your friend will just run out of the battle area if possible, and then you'll respawn. You're like, I'm back. This one, not the case. You have 3 lives max that you can get. You don't even start off with 3 lives. You get 0.
And you have to just finesse and try to earn
and they're
them.
And they're shared lives. You can revive each other, which is cool. But every time, like, unless like no one's around, reviving someone's like very dangerous.
And you especially like you revive somebody. By the time you're reviving them, you're taking a bunch of damage. So by the time they're fully revived, you're dead, and it's just like a constant cycle of like, all right, pass the baton back and forth on who's alive and who's not. And especially, I thought it was interesting that even though this was on normal mode, I was having a bunch of difficulties. So I can't even imagine what it would be like on hard or super hard. I don't know the the level of difficulty. But for normal, I found it fairly challenging. But that's the fun part about it. I'd rather it be more challenging than me just blow by.
But it's more fun challenging with two people than by yourself.
I completely agree with that.
Because when you're playing by yourself and it's hard, it's like, fuck, no one's there sharing, like, oh man, let's do this, or let's try this. It's like the computer AI, because you can play the game solo, and then the computer AI controls the other one. Because you play two twin sister. Is it twin sisters?
I don't know if they're twins, but I know they're sisters. Maybe they are twins. I'm not sure.
I think they might be twins, but they're not identical twins. Yeah. Jess and Sophia. Sophie or Sophie? Sophie. And like the story is that your father is the one who killed Hitler. Yeah. And then he's gone missing, and I think you have to go find him. You're in New Paris, which is overrun by Nazis. Story-wise, it's whatever. It's an over-the-top whatever. The characters are weird. They've never killed anyone before, but once they start killing people, they get like a thirst for it, especially because it's Nazis. Yeah. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. What's cool is like a lot of the two-person things, right? It's like to get the shared lives, you have to get two of you together to open the crate. A lot of stuff requires two people, one person at one of the code machines and one doing the code breaking and sending that information over. So there's a lot of things that you co-op. They make, besides just try to kill each other people together and regeneration. There's just a lot of stuff that they make you do together. Yeah,
and I really enjoy, like you said, the communication between the two, because I could not have seen myself like trying to, especially when I was just playing with the computer yesterday, doing the same when I played the original, like the first couple missions just by myself, like with the AI, but versus when I played with you and actually I could think more and like we could actually strategize. Like, hey, I'll go around this way, you go this way, let's confront him like that, or vice versa, rather than just you working with the AI. So I'd definitely recommend having to play with somebody co-op. And I think it's cool too, like if you like how you didn't actually buy the game, but I could send you the buddy pass. Yes. So if you and your friend want to buy it, like one can buy it, and then you just send them the invite and y'all can go ham and play like that. So I think that was cool, like the buddy pass thing.
Yeah, definitely cool. And then just playing the game together and getting further along. I don't know how far. We were probably not that far into the game.
I don't think, probably like 15% in, 10, 15.
I think we put a good, an hour and a half, 2 hours into it. Like I said, like in the beginning, it's like already hard. Like there's like no tutorial stage. I mean, there's this like kind of prologue mission.
Kind of just throw you in there, and as you go along that mission, you kind of figure out things, and by the time you're at the actual first mission, you kind of like know what to do, but you're still kind of learning, because there were some things like as I was playing the first mission, I was like, oh wait, I didn't even know I could do that. And so yeah, I think that's pretty cool that there's constantly stuff like they're throwing at you, whether it's new upgrades or like new abilities and stuff like through the middle, the double jump, the cloaking abilities, stuff like that. So I'm intrigued to see like what other stuff they'll kind of throw at us as we go along. And I know that you pointed out something like we thought it was just going to be like a straight story all the way through, but it's kind of like a hub. Like after you finish the first mission, they send you to like a little hub area,
the catacombs,
and then you can actually decide on what missions you want to take on or what not, and there's value to each mission. So I did not expect that, but it's a welcome surprise.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some mixed to positive reviews amongst. I mean, we'll have our review next week after we play it more, but right now, like IGN gave it a 6.5 out of 10. PC Gamer gave it a 79%. GameSpot gave it an 8 out of 10. I think the overall Metacritic is 76%. So it's like positive, but not like overwhelmingly like game of the year type of thing. I think it's one of those things where there's nothing new here, but it's just done very well. And I don't know. I'm a sucker for co-op games, so. I'm definitely looking forward to playing some more of this. And, I mean, it's not like the stories. But like you mentioned with the kind of headquarter thing with the catacombs, I think is cool. Reminds me kind of strangely of, like, Fallout. Fallout, like, there'll be like certain areas where it's like, oh, this is kind of a headquarters thing where you can get other missions and then head out and restock your ammo and restock stuff and then go out and play and come back.
You know what kind of reminded me of? What? Now I'm proud I can actually say it, Borderlands in terms of like the hub spot. I'm sure there's other like hub areas in other games, but I've been recently playing Borderlands and Borderlands 2, so kind of reminded me of that. I'm getting on my Borderlands game, guys. I'm slowly but surely
before the third one comes out.
Getting through all of these games. Next Halo before the next Xbox comes out.
Oh, definitely. So yeah, so far positive, impressions from me. I wouldn't say review because we're not. We haven't gotten too deep in.
Do you know if those reviews were just mainly like how they were basing it? Were they basing it off of co-op mode, or was it like them just playing it straight through? Or?
I think both. I think there's a lot of it both. I mean,
because I could see them giving it a lower if they're just like one person reviewing it. But if it's like they're reviewing the co-op mode, I would definitely give it a higher. I could see it being like a 8.8 or 8.5 once I get a little more time with it.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's pretty fun. I mean, also we have to play further to see how long that enjoyment of playing it keeps going. But I don't know. I think it's been pretty fun so far. All right, let's move on to the next topic. We've got here we go. Of course, there's an article on PC Gamer that says that this investor, a Disney investor, thinks that Disney should buy Activision Blizzard. Let me see here.
I mean, why not?
I mean,
at this point,
what's interesting though is that right now I think Activision Blizzard is worth what they were saying, $37 billion, which is crazy because you have to think Disney picked up Star Wars for $4 billion and they picked up Marvel for $4 billion.
Wait, and did you say $37 billion?
Yes. So you're talking about, So I mean that means that they got Marvel and Star Wars for a steal.
Oh, so oh my God, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, $37 billion. I mean, obviously, Activision Blizzard is a very large company, and they make tons of big games and make a lot of money. But I mean,
I mean, I know people feel some type of way about Disney like really becoming a monopoly and taking over, but I think we talked about this a while back. I could see Disney and Blizzard being a good partnership because you could easily create a bunch of Overwatch short animated Overwatch shows or something like that and put them on Disney Plus. I feel like there's a lot of collaborations between the two that can really do something good, but also I know a lot of people are not about Disney continuing to take over the world.
Yeah, so apparently Gerber Kowalski Inc. is an investment company that has significant shares in Disney, and one of their guys told Bloomberg that it's an ideal time to make the acquisition. I guess the shares dipped down a little bit, the stock price. So it's a perfect time to, the company owns $22 million worth of shares in Disney and $4.3 million in Activision. So they think that's a good time. It's interesting, especially with the whole EA having the exclusive license to the Star Wars games right now. Imagine if Disney picks up Activision Blizzard and then moves that over to that arena, right? Because
Disney's going to take over movies, going to take over the gaming industry now. Where do I sign? Where do I sign my soul? So sign my soul to the devil so I can get in on this.
Yeah, so that's. I mean, what do you think? What do you think of if Disney actually were to get Knights of the Old, or not Knights of the Old, I'm blanking. Activision Blizzard.
I mean, personally, I would be fine with it. I think it's a smart move just to. Like I said, they have so many different things that they can explore with it. If they want to do more, if they want to develop their own video games within the Disney universe, and they can, if they want to create more shows around Blizzard properties, that would be great. They have so many things, especially with Disney Plus. And if there is a possible way that Disney Plus can then somehow, I think they were talking about on the article, it said like they're trying to do more esports stuff as well, so you can have like an esports channel on the Disney Plus streaming service. So I think it's gonna slowly but surely, if they actually do go through with this and put a lot of money behind it, they can try to maybe even overtake like Twitch or Mixer, or try to become the next big gaming streaming platform with either create a new Disney game service, or like I said, weave it into the Disney Plus, because there's already so much content on there. They can just throw it on there, add another section for the gamers. And I don't know. I think it's a good move if you're Disney, but if you're one of the fans that just doesn't want to see Disney keep taking over, then I could see you being salty about it.
Yeah, I think from a gaming side, people are just like, oh, let's see what someone else can do with, let's say, the Star Wars license besides EA, and see if that is a good move. All right, so next topic is... What is it? See, I feel like my computer knows when I'm on Collider Games podcast, because
it starts acting up.
Yeah, it starts acting up only when I'm on this show. Like, seriously,
it has like
every
your
time.
location. As soon as you walk through that door, it's like, all right, Dennis is about to record. Let's mess it up. Let's mess up his stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, the next story is that Google Stadia is not Netflix. So I think apparently in an interview, let me see who the interview was with, but they were basically, because everyone's been talking, including myself, was talking about the next step in gaming will be a Netflix style version. That's kind of Xbox. What is it? Game Pass is like halfway there, right? Where you have a subscription, you're paying a certain amount. Now, it's not streaming the games to you, but you still kind of can download as many games as you want and play as much as you want as well. But yeah, it says a closer comparison would be Xbox Live Gold or PlayStation Plus. That's, I guess, Stadia's product director, Andrei Doranachev, did a Reddit Q&A. And he didn't want to be compared to Netflix.
But isn't it essentially like Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus, like in a way that like a kind of version of the Netflix of games? So I don't know. Well,
remember, with this service, you don't get like all these games you can play. All it is that you can play games without a console. You still have to buy them.
Oh, well then, yeah, then it's not the Netflix for games.
Yeah, and then there's a premium service as well. Not exactly sure what that gets you above the regular.
So I'm confused. So so there's a free version.
Yes.
And on that free version, there will be, I'm assuming, like free games, discounted.
I think it's discounted.
Discounted games, and then if you have the premium version, is that when it comes more into like the Xbox Gold like territory where you can have them on or like download them?
Yeah, let me see. Okay, so the free non-subscription version releases next year. Yeah, the games themselves, you still have to pay for the games, but you don't have to buy a console basically, and it's through. But then the Stadia Pro, there's a $10 a month subscription. You still have to buy the games, but they'll be up to 4K and 60 FPS. I think the basic one is only 1080.
So you still have to buy the games.
Yes. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. I do see here they're giving one free game per month, starting with Destiny 2.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's cool.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think this is just an intermediate step, just like I think Game Pass is an intermediate step. I think eventually they will go into that Netflix model. It's a little more difficult now because games companies are going to be less reluctant to give their new games to subscriptions. But if you look at Xbox Game Pass, they already have like older games, and obviously with Microsoft, they can get their first party games up there much quicker. But I mean, Fallout 4 is an older game, but that's on Game Pass now.
I have it downloaded, just haven't.
So
actually, I've played a little bit, but
so that's a AAA title, obviously older. So remember, Netflix was same way, man, same way. Netflix used to just be like older stuff, and then they started doing their original stuff, and now they're getting stuff much quicker. So I have a feeling eventually it's going to go that way.
You think it'll be like when a ball roll? Comparison, like a ball rolling. Once it actually like gets going, it'll just keep like.
I think one of the companies will have to break through and do it. But I mean, honestly, right now I don't see Stadia being the one, because I don't see the way gaming is, right? It's different than watching streaming like television or movies, right? People like to play particular games. Like when you want to watch something on TV or television or movies, obviously you do want to watch certain stuff, but 90% of the stuff that you're watching, let's say on Netflix or Amazon Prime or Hulu or stuff, is stuff that you discover or people tell you about. You don't really like. I've already watched all the MCU movies. That's why when people are freaking out, like, all the MCU movies are leaving Netflix for Disney Plus, I'm like, I never watched the MCU movies on Netflix because I've seen them already, or I own the Blu-ray if I really like them. So I never look to Netflix and be like, okay, they have these things. But what you look at is their original content and all that stuff, and
stuff like you can't get anywhere else, not besides the original content. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Or just recommended stuff. People say, hey, check out this, check out that. Oh, it's on Netflix. You feel like, okay, I'm already paying the subscription fee. Let me just check it out. Now, that's going to be a little different with games, right? Because, people can recommend stuff, but I don't know. Playing a game to me is like, it's a bigger endeavor. You got to download the freaking game or whatever. I mean, you can skip around, but most of the time people are like, for example, what games are you looking forward to, let's say, not even this year, but like in the next year? Okay. In the next 365 days, what games are you looking to...
Cyberpunk, The Last of Us 2. What else? That's pretty.
But see, it's more important, right? At least for me. Maybe other people that are listening to this podcast will think differently. It's more important for me to play the games that I'm looking forward to than to have a subscription that I can get some games I've never heard of, but like.
You weren't interested in.
It wasn't interested.
Because I feel you. If you were interested in them in the first place, you already would have gone out of your way to get that game rather than wait for it to be on a subscription service. So I feel you on that, because I don't know. I personally wouldn't go on this Google Stadia or any type of streaming service, like gaming streaming service, looking for games I haven't necessarily like played in a minute or something like that. I would rather get recommendations from you or something. But I don't know. It's like you said, it's different for games, because even just us downloading Wolfenstein took a couple hours before it even got started. So you're putting in a lot of time, putting in a lot of memory on the Xbox or whatever
with the Stadia,
console.
With the Stadia stuff, and I think the future, like Microsoft xCloud stuff, it is going to be like where you don't have to do that. You just pick it up and go like, oh, okay, I'm going to play this. So that makes that part easier, where it's like, all right, I just want to try out this game. Let me load it up. But like I said, it's not a subscription thing, so it's not an all-you-can-eat buffet. You still got to pay. The only benefit is that, like you said, you get free games every month, and then also, but remember, you're not choosing which games. And then you can play the games that you have purchased.
So the main difference between this and, let's say, Xbox Gold is...
It's literally... you don't have to download the game. You're just playing it without a console. You don't buy a console.
But you're still buying the game.
You're still buying the game.
All right.
So like I said, I think this is intermediate steps. I think this is not the full-blown model, and I think eventually it will be the Netflix-type model where Microsoft xCloud is going to have like all the games on there, but you got to pay. And I don't think it'll be as cheap as $10 a month, but like maybe $15 to $20 a month or something like that, and then and they'll have like new, and then Microsoft will at least launch their first party original games on there.
On Google Stadia?
No. On whatever their
didn't they like announce that they have like or is it already out that their game service for the computers, like the Cloud Plus or something? I can't remember the name, but didn't they?
They have xCloud that they're working on, but it's not out yet. Like I said, that's why I think Game Pass right now is that intermediate step, and so I think eventually Google, Amazon, Apple, Sony, Microsoft are all going to battle it out, and and then, like I said, with the
battle streaming services, now battle of the
video.
Services.
Yep, I'm telling you. I mean, it's going to be like, okay, well, if you want to play Halo, you only play it if you have a Microsoft xCloud account. Oh, I mean, it's already kind of that way, anyways. It's just you don't have a subscription. It's like. I guess for me, it's like because I don't have as much time to play games. I don't know how much value it is. But if you play games all the time, I think I could see Google Stadia being, or the Game Pass very
I'm
beneficial.
just not a fan that you still have to buy the games.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll change it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next topic. We've got, what we mentioned before. We went to Comic-Con, and we went to 2 different panels. Let's start off with the Marvel Games panel at Comic-Con. It was in Hall H, which is a big thing. My biggest takeaway, they showed Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which basically came out the next day after that, or actually
I think that night, yeah.
They did the mobile game. What was that? Contest of Champions. You and me did a video on this, which you can find on the Collider Videos YouTube channel. What was the other one besides Avengers? There was one more. Why am I blanking?
Oh, wait, no. Contest of Champions. No?
Ultimate Alliance.
And
wasn't there
Avengers.
One more? Wasn't there one more? Or maybe it was just they covered some other stuff like their E-team or
eSports there was a sports team with Spider-Man gear. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, those were the...
And then Avengers was the big one to close things out. My biggest takeaway was that they did themselves a lot of good for that. Oh, no. They did Iron Man VR.
Oh, yeah. That was it. All right. Yeah. VR. Iron Man VR.
They did themselves a lot of good, especially for Avengers, because this is I mentioned this on our video. It's a different but similar crowd to E3, but not hardcore gamers. So they came away with a very positive response out of that. Because remember what happened at E3 was like it was mixed, where people were positive about the type of game it was, but then negative about the graphics and whatnot. And also remember those demos that they showed didn't have a lot of the gameplay, right? It was just the cinematics, which is what people were criticizing the most, where what we saw at
in the little demonstration thing, like the 25-minute, we actually saw the gameplay for each of the characters, which I thought it looked really good. Just a little laggy at times, but the game was a year out, and from when we saw the footage at E3 to what we saw at San Diego Comic-Con, they improved. They heard the complaints. People were very verbal about their complaints, and they took what they heard and started to fix it. I mean, I don't think it's completely done yet, but I can definitely see the improvements from what we saw at E3 to what we saw at San Diego Comic-Con. And also, like you said, they're kind of similar audiences, but the main people at San Diego Comic-Con there for just the overall nerdy geekiness, the movies and stuff like that. So it's their first time seeing an actual Avengers game that they can play with their favorite characters. I think they were more taken away by that, and then the footage itself looked great, and so I think that's why he said it worked well for them this time. I think they won.
They were cheering.
Yeah, because I was a little bit nervous about it, but it was an overwhelmingly positive response for the footage that they showed.
Yeah, and I think they showed pretty much the same demo that we saw before, but with slightly improved graphics.
And then we got a little bit of a look at the customizational features, as well as like the single or the online co-op play that you'll get to do with your friends. Yes. We got a glimpse of that, which looked great because they confirmed a while back that what we saw was just single player mode. You can't do the campaign with your friends. The
story mode you can't do with your friends.
So yeah.
But yeah, I think overall they came out with a big win there. A lot of good PR coming out of that, instead of what happened at E3.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just hoping now, like you said, they also showed the Iron Man VR, because I actually got to do that, and our first impressions are on the channel already. But I genuinely enjoyed that. And I'm hoping, because I don't think Blood and Truth, I don't know if that was going to be the game to actually get people to do PSVR, but I'm hoping that this one is, because if you really want to feel like Iron Man, if you want to feel like Tony Stark flying around in his suit, I think this is the game. And they are right for making Iron Man the first VR game for their new wave. So I hopefully it works out for them and we can get some more VR games, and hopefully maybe do you ever think they'll expand it past the PSVR? I think that's what would actually
with all these lot. That's the thing is with these exclusives, Sony, like that's with the Spider-Man game, there's no reason why that Spider-Man game can't be anywhere, on an Xbox or PC or whatever. It's just with all these exclusive tie-ups, I think that's why the Iron Man PSVR will stick strictly on the PSVR.
Man, I'm gonna get it because it's a fantastic game, but I could definitely see this being the game to get not just PS fans, but just people who are cautiously nervous about VR in general. I could see this being the game to really be all right, let me give VR a shot. This seems interesting. So I don't know, maybe down the road. Like we said, we got different subscription services and stuff. Maybe we can throw that on there or something like that. Because I really would love to see this just go expand past the PSVR, because not everybody has a PlayStation or a PSVR system.
Yeah, and then people that watched that one, it was a okay response to it, because like I've always said with VR is one of those things you have to do it in order to buy into it and understand it, versus when you watch VR games on regular 2D screens, it
just looks like a regular like you're watching something. I don't know, but I will say I was glad to see the line for it, because they had a little demonstration for it. It seemed pretty long. It seemed like people were pretty interested in it, so hopefully it pops off.
Yeah. All right. And then the other cool thing that we got to do was we were at the Witcher panel, and we got to actually see. Everyone saw the new Comic-Con trailer, but then we got to see 3 clips from that. We did a video on this that goes into more detail, but overall, I think a good positive response to it, because the whole video game stigma, whether it's games or televisions, is out there of there's no good ones, and everyone wants to break the curse. And, this one looks like they put a good amount of money into it. And, you have Henry Cavill, who played Superman as Geralt. So
I'm excited for it just because of what we actually got to saw. Like I've said, I'm not too familiar with The Witcher besides what you guys have talked about. And I know they said in the actual panel that this is going to be following more of the books, which I'm excited about, because it's a loophole to break the video game curse, because they have more material to follow instead of just basing it completely off the game. They can actually follow the books, and so it can maybe be the next follow-up for until the next Game of Thrones, the prequel comes out. Maybe this can be the thing to hold people over with the fantasy and all of that, because it looked in terms of cinematography and quality, it looked just as good as a Game of Thrones episode, and some shots maybe even better. So I don't know. Maybe it can be that hold until we get another Game of Thrones show or series.
Yeah. All right, moving on. This one, obviously, I put on there because I'm a big Alan Wake fan. I've been talking about Alan Wake 2 and how Remedy had recently gotten back the rights to it, the publishing rights to it, so it can go, because at that time it was exclusive just to Microsoft platforms, which was PC and Xbox. But there was an interview with Sam Lake, who is one of the writers and producers over at Remedy, and he wants to do it. He wants to do it, and so He just says that they need everything to kind of fall into place before they can greenlight something of that endeavor, because obviously Sam Lake is out there promoting the upcoming Control game. And so this interview wasn't just about Alan Wake 2. It was just kind of thrown in there after talking about Control and Max Payne and just a bunch of other stuff. So a little side note, and actually Josh alerted me to this. The first Alan Wake game and For Honor are going to be free next week, starting on Friday on the Epic Games Store for PC.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Man.
So, yeah. So it's yeah.
Well, I was gonna add that to my list, but
yeah. It's so starting on August 2nd, Friday, all the way into August 9th, you'll be able to get Alan Wake and For Honor.
Do you think my laptop can handle it? Not this one. I
don't know. I have to take a look at it and see. I mean, it is an older game, so it's not a high end. It doesn't require a high end system for it. So maybe. It's possible. All right. Let's go on to Twitter questions.
All right.
What do we got?
Mario Rutgers asks, is there a Marvel character that deserves... We probably answered this a while back, but is there a Marvel character that deserves his own video game like Spider-Man? Who do you have?
Oh, man. Daredevil game would be pretty cool.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. video game. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, that would be...
That seems tough, right?
That'd be a lot to juggle all those characters. No, scratch that. A Daisy Johnson video game. No, seriously though, a Daredevil game would be pretty dope. A Defenders game in general, I think that would be pretty cool. I feel like we can't. I feel like we've already answered this a while back.
I mean, the thing is now you have this Avengers game, right? Where you get to play Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Hulk. You know what I mean? Because before you would say Iron Man, right? But now Iron Man's in this game. Not that you can't have an Iron Man solo game. They are having that PSVR game, but before you would think, okay, maybe they have a Iron Man game that you fly around. Thor could do a single player, the Hulk, all that stuff. But I'm trying to think of...
A Doctor Strange game would be kind of dope, like a trippy...
You'd really have to get really creative with that.
Yeah, I think that would be cool, though. I don't know how you would do it, but visually I think that would be something that... A Doctor Strange Scarlet Witch game, that would be dope. I don't know what storyline it would be, but visually I think that would be something spectacular.
Trying to think of what other is it superheroes or comic book?
I just said Marvel characters.
Oh,
so
Marvel. Okay. Marvel characters. I mean, we haven't seen Black Panther
We haven't seen him
in a game.
Console game. Oh, yeah. Black Panther. Yeah. That's another one. I'll take that one too. Black Panther. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Visiting Wakanda, taking down bunch of people. I'd be down for that.
Because you got a lot of hand-to-hand combat with him, right?
Have the Dora Milaje in the back and stuff. Yeah, that would be pretty dope. I do get on it, Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
Marvel games.
And you can fly around like the whole world and everything.
Ooh.
Take care of stuff.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
I'll take my back. Black Panther's a vote.
All right. What's next?
Christopher Cochran. I'm not sure if you even saw this, but I'll ask it anyway. Have you seen the new Doom Eternal footage from QuakeCon? It looks great.
No, I know QuakeCon. It's in Texas happening right now. I have not. I mean, I played the Doom Eternal demo at E3, so I don't know if the footage covers stuff that I actually got to play or not. Let me take a look. But, I mean, let's see. QuakeCon, Year of Doom. Let's see. Brought footage of the game. Here we go. 16 minutes of this.
16 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, from QuakeCon. And see if there's anything different than what I played. But, I mean, the game looks great. It plays great. It's definitely it's not like Wolfenstein, right? Because it's like single player. And it's just straight up like
From when I was watching what you were playing, it feels like it was just go, smash, destroy.
It was not, like, there's no, like, okay, let's pause here for a second. Let's think about how we're going to do this.
Just go nonstop.
Yeah, it's pretty much go, shoot, kill. Jump. Like, it has the kind of like a 3D version of a platformer aspect to it where you got to jump from, different areas to different areas and don't fall to your death. Let me see here. I wonder if this 26 minutes is just like the first part of the game. What are they doing here? It's available now. I think they're... Yeah, I mean, this looks similar. I mean, I'll be honest with you. A lot of the Doom stuff, environments, they look the same, right? You know what I mean? There's not a lot of variety in the looks of Doom. Like, you see Doom, and you're like, cool. No, this part I didn't play. This has Oh, they showed some kind of more of the other enemies because there's that mode where it's like one Slayer versus two enemies, so you can play as the enemies. I forgot what the mode was called.
Isn't it like Heroes? No, that's.
So, yeah, I see they're showing some footage from that, which is kind of cool. Because, if you get to play the enemies, that's a whole different control scheme for every single type of enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And also you can, team up with someone else to try and take out the Slayer, So that's pretty cool. Anything else?
No, that's about it. Unless what questions did you got? Did y'all hit any Twitter questions last week or the week before?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we hit it. I don't think we ran through anything from last week.
All right, so we got one from Eric Great. He asked, fall and holiday season is usually the biggest time for new releases, and when many come out, what are you most excited for? Personally, probably Borderlands 3.
Let's see here. There's not a lot of big games coming out
this back half of the year.
Yeah, or just 2019 in general was not right. There's no Last of Us. Red Dead was last year. Cyberpunk is next year. Like, what were the big games of the year so far? I mean, they wanted Anthem to be a big game, didn't end up being. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just trying to think of what the big. I guess Death Stranding's coming out this year.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's I think in November, if I'm not remembering correctly.
I guess Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat came out. Try and take a look. Okay, and a lot of these 2020 games.
Oh, yeah. What I'm in Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Oh.
I just got to get a Switch first, so. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel Ultimate Alliance came out. You still haven't gotten that.
I did say I was going to get a Switch for that. I remember saying that too. Well, yeah, that'll be my goal.
Yeah, there's not a lot of. Control is probably my the Remedy game that's coming out. That's probably my big one.
Since E3, I will put Watch Dogs, the newest Watch Dogs, on my list. I want to play as the grannies.
When's that coming out?
Next year, March.
Yeah, I'm talking about. Aren't they asking about this year?
Oh, I thought they said fall.
What did they say? Fall what?
Summer or wait? They said. Fall.
Yeah, Watch Dogs is next year. The Outer Worlds I'm looking forward to.
How was that?
Good. I'll have more of that soon. On that soon. Yeah, Avengers is next year. Cyberpunk's next year. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's Control. Probably the game I'm looking forward to the most for the rest of the year.
Bet. So yours Control, mine is Pokemon Sword and Shield.
All right.
I think that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's it for this episode of the Collider Games podcast. Thanks for joining us. Dorian, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Dorian Parks and Rec, and you can find me on Instagram at Dorian Parks.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at ThinkHero, Instagram Dennis.tzng. Stay tuned. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, youtube.com/Collider Games. Subscribe to our Collider Factory feed. Well, you'll have this podcast every single week. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Peace.